Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Let's discuss with author L.A. Logan. On today, we're going to be talking about part 2 to dating in 2020. If you did not check out the first part of dating in 2020, you may want to hit pause and go find the video so that you're not totally lost on what we're going to be talking about. So yeah, if you don't know, now you know. So either pause or let's get into it. Let's discuss. Okay, guys, so back on Single Awareness Day, I think it was, or better, otherwise known as Valentine's Day, we started talking about dating in 2020. Are men still hunting in 2020? And we kind of got into it a little bit. And if I recall, I had dinner with some close friends on that day or that night, and they were kind of like, as a woman, you shouldn't even think about being found or being hunted. That shouldn't be your focus. And so I kind of internalized that, and I was good with that because it made sense. That's not something you would want to obsess about as a woman. But as a man, you really do need to start checking to find out, am I hunting? And if I'm not hunting, what am I doing? And is there a reason why I'm not hunting? Because let's be clear, if you don't have yourself together, you don't need to be hunted or hunting. Either way, you need to get yourself together. So yeah, I gave it some thought. Well, on today, I was having a conversation with someone that really got me to thinking, and I was like, wow, this would be a really good discussion topic. So let's say you're like me and like the individual that I was talking to, you are pretty confident that you're ready to be hunted. That just sounds really weird. Hunted, not haunted, hunted. You're ready to be found. Let me just use that word. You're ready to be found. But when you're approached by someone or you're asked out on a date, you're kind of stuck. Not stuck because you're scared or because of fear. That's another video we talked about that subject on. But because you haven't dated in forever. Like you really don't know what to expect, um, what to do. Like it's awkward almost. It kind of is like if you're an athlete and once you're in the game, you're an active player, you're conditioned to participate in whatever sport it is that you're conditioned for. You don't have any problem getting in there and running the ball, catching the ball, swinging at the ball, kicking the ball, whatever it is that your position calls for. But once you retire from that and you're just chilling, enjoying life as a retired player, oh gosh, that doesn't sound right, player, because I was never a player. Cracking myself up right now. But you're retired from the sport that you participated in. And then all of a sudden you're called, kind of like it just happened recently with a hockey game where the first and second string goalies both were injured, so they called in the third string. And from what I understand, he never even practiced with the team. It wasn't something he did on a regular basis. It was kind of like, I don't even think he was on contract to be paid, if I'm not mistaken. But he got called in at the last minute to cover because the first two goalies were injured. So anyway, you're going on about your business, and then all of a sudden you're approached, you're asked, hey, do you want to go out on a date? And let's be clear, it's somebody that you want to go on a date with, because if you're anything like me, you do get approached, you do get asked out on dates by individuals, but usually we're not on the same page. They usually don't have themselves all the way together. They're not really looking for a serious relationship. They're just looking for something to do, quote unquote, or they are serial daters, or they just want to date you for as long as you allow them to date without a true commitment, which takes me to that subject that I want to talk about, but probably not on this video. I heard this phrase, black men don't cheat. And I'm like, what? What do you mean they don't cheat? And then I thought about it and I was like, well, most of them don't cheat. The ones who truly are living after God's heart, they truly have God as the head of their life, they shouldn't be cheating. They should be doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether they're married or in a committed relationship, heading towards marriage. They shouldn't be doing any serial dating or cheating, quote unquote. But most men that say they're not cheating is because they've not given a commitment. They're just going to date you until you're tired of dating them, or until you're like, okay, what are we doing? You start questioning it. And then at that point, you'll know if they're about their business or if they're about games, because they're going to give you all these excuses. And usually the number one excuse is, oh, I'm still working on myself, or I still got some stuff that I need to get together. And my question to that is, sir, why are you dating? If you don't have yourself together enough to commit, why are you dating an individual for long lengths of time? I honestly feel like, especially when you're of a particular age, that you should already have yourself together and have on your A game, in that you are ready to fully commit that leads to marriage. I mean, now if you're barely 20, okay, I get it. You're still trying to figure out most times who you are and what your goal is in life. But I'm talking about those of us that definitely, 30, late 30s, in your 40s, 50s, should I go on, 60s, 70s, you should not still be on the I'm trying to find myself kick. Like that is just, oh, I could go on and on about that, but I'm gonna leave that right there. I think you get the point. But back to the black men don't cheat, or men don't cheat. If you're not giving a commitment to somebody, and especially if you have been dating them for a long period of time, there's something wrong with you that you can't give them a commitment. Why are you even playing with someone's emotions for that long? You should have never even been in the game to date to begin with if you weren't ready to commit. So anyway, what was I talking about before I got off on that tangent? So yeah, back to you're ready, you got yourself together, you're dating with purpose. You're not just doing something, but you're dating with purpose, and you are approached by that person. And they're like, hey, you want to go out for a cup of coffee, dinner, movie, art show? Gosh, there's so many things that you can do, for a first date. But it kind of catches you off guard when you haven't been out on dates in a while. It's like, okay, I'm going to say yes. So then your mind's like, well, what do I wear? What are we going to talk about? If you're like me, believe it or not, I'm socially awkward. And when I'm nervous, I make a corny joke or try to crack a joke, and it's just all over the place. And the fact that I have not seriously dated anyone for, gosh, I'm almost embarrassed to say this out loud, it's been several years, because I just haven't been approached by the right person. Like, I feel like I'm gonna know who that person is. Like, Jesus and all his disciples, they're going to give me a real good clue and say, that is him. That is the one that I have for you. The one that you don't have to worry about playing games, being confused about what they want, still trying to get their self together, trying to date you and everybody else that'll date them back. What else seems to be some challenges? Yeah, I'm going to know. And so in my mind, it's kind of like, why would I waste someone's time if I know from the beginning that we're not compatible, or we're not on the same page, or that we're not looking for the same thing? I used to think that my standards were too high, and I even had a guy tell me that I was looking for Jesus Christ. But I'm sorry, I know I'm not looking for Jesus Christ, because there ain't but one of them. And the fact that he said that to me confirmed for me that he was not the one for me. But I just want someone who is, in general, if you're single, you want someone that you can grow with, or you can build together. Someone that's a provider or protector. Definitely, God is the head of their life, and they're led by God. To me, that makes a difference, because what you're led by is how you're going to act in the relationship. If you're dysfunctional, about mass drama, you got multiple people you're juggling, the relationship is going to become toxic, and somebody's going to end up getting hurt because, and something else. Well, I was honest up front. I told him I wasn't looking for a relationship. First off, if you're not looking for a relationship, what are you doing? Especially if a woman tells you, or a man tells you, I'm dating with purpose, I'm dating to find my life mate, and that ain't nowhere on your radar, nowhere in your book, you ain't even in that chapter, there's no reason for you to even date that person. Like you need, as my son would say, you need to move around, find something else to do. So yeah, what do you think? What are your thoughts on being ready to date, and is it socially awkward when you finally decide to go out on a date with someone? And then two, what do you think about that person that's constantly full of excuses of why they can't commit? Do you continue to date them, especially if you've been dating them for a long period of time? Or let's say that you've only been dating for a short period of time. Do you give them time to work through that? I heard something, I read this, I can't remember if I heard it or read it, but it said, because we're guilty of seeing potential in someone, and we want to ride that thing out until they realize their potential. And what I saw or heard, it said, it's okay to see the potential in someone as long as you're willing to stunt your growth until they catch up. That's a big ask, huge ask, especially when you are of a particular age. So yeah, I kind of wanted to just discuss that on tonight, get your thoughts on, dating in 2020. What is your dating life like? Do you struggle to acclimate to dating? And if you're married, how did your first couple dates go? How did you know that that who you're married to was the one? Yeah, we want to get into it. We want to discuss it. If you're married, you can always help us single folks out by providing, information on how you were able to get to where you're at. And as singles, we can help each other out by saying, hey, I'm not alone, or you're not alone. I'm going through the same thing. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's discuss. I'd love to see your comments. As you can see, I'm back home for just a little while. I'm getting ready to get on the road again. And I plan to kind of record my travelings this time around. But if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome and thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and I hope you participate by leaving comments below. For those of you that this is not your first time, welcome back. I hope you too enjoy the discussion. If not, oh well, maybe next time. But if you could, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. Click the like button if you did enjoy the discussion on this evening, and also click the bell so that you will be notified when content is loaded to this channel. I really do appreciate the time that we spent with each other on this evening, and we will reveal or do our Black History Challenge reveal on tomorrow. That is the plan, so I hope you tune in for that. In the meantime, I want to leave you with this. Remember, the plans for your life have already been designed. It's up to you to trust the planner. Have a good one, everybody.